I've been a part of the Youth Council for a very long time, but I was playing a supportive role in most of my stay in the Youth Council. I picked interest in the Youth Council because I saw we have myriads of issues in my constituency that would require us to come to bring our expertise to bear so that we can correct what we perceive as being abnormal. So I contested elections April 22nd, 2017, and I won the elections to be the chairman of the Youth Council, and I was sworn in May 22nd, 2017. So I've been in office 2.5 years, or slightly more than 2.5 years. My name is Jemchang Fabong. I'm a medical doctor by training and a consultant family physician. I formerly practiced in Plateau State Specialist Hospital as the head of the Critical Emergencies Department. But presently, I am the Director General of the Plateau State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency, which is the variant of the State Social Health Insurance Scheme, and also the Chairman of Plateau State Youth Council. Presently, I'm an examiner in the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria, and also an instructor of the Advanced Life Support Program, which is organized by the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. From my primary school days, I've always been seen as a leader amongst my peers. When I got into secondary school, the pattern continued. But when I entered the university, I picked interest in student union government politics. Actually, I was the clerk of the Jos University Medical Student Association, and I was also a senator almost all through my stay in the SUG, House of Parliament. I was never in the executive. My interest was policies in school, and then to checkmate the executives. And when I graduated from medical school in 2005, I came into the medical profession properly, and thereafter I became the public relations officer of the Nigerian Medical Association Plateau State chapter, from where I became the secretary of the Nigerian Medical Association Plateau State chapter. And then I also picked interest in youth politics, leadership and governance to a large extent. And to that extent, I'm where I am today in the place of governance, both at the level of the youth leadership and also in government properly. Well, the class I found myself in medical school was a variant. It was a class like none other in the history of the medical school in the University of Jos. We had so much of our peers who were also into politics. The reason is, while we were still in school, we had this that was written all over our walls that not participating in decision making, it opens you up to be controlled by your inferiors. And same as politics, if you are not in politics, your decision or your future is the decision that shapes your future is taken by people who are not even thinking to the level that you are. So it's about creating balance. Medical school was quite challenging. Surprisingly, I never had issues in school. In fact, I graduated as one of the best doctors in my set. So it's about prioritization, it's about creating spaces, and then having time. So the time we use for our recreation was the times that we use in politicking. And my class, MBBS 2005, never lost a football match. And I was an active player of football too in school. So to a certain extent, I would say God has blessed us with the dexterity to do many things at the same time. So it never affected my studies one bit. I've viewed Plateau State as a penthouse. It's a city on the hill. It is a place of refuge. And but the young people in this part of the country have not yet realized their potentials. No thanks to some of these places. We found our albatross in the places of tribal divisions, religious divisions, which are some of the things we inherited. But beyond that, there are social vices like substance abuse, cultism, and the likes that have taken our potentials away from us. And the paternalistic approach towards bringing to the minimum some of these practices amongst young people have failed, which is why we developed what we call the community advocacy approach. It's a community advocacy against alcohol and substance abuse, and we have built a template that is realistic, bringing on board all the stakeholders. And we've started something from some of the communities, but we needed to expand the frontiers. To that extent, we need to create safe spaces for these young people If you follow them closely, you find out that we have different reasons why young people abuse substances, why young people are into severe alcoholism and their likes. And I believe that our solution should be targeted towards that, particularly creating safe spaces for dysfunctional families, and then bringing in religious bodies on board, and even the gatekeepers like the Meangwas and their likes. It is all about speaking to these young people and making them believe that they have great potentials and they are also stakeholders. In the day that they come to the place of understanding that they can take decisions that change policies that affects them directly, most of them are willing to turn away from these heinous practices that have seized the best of their lives. But it's a concerted effort that we have to put in place, bringing everyone on board, making sure that we fight. They are serious drivers for crisis. Templates for cultic activities and their likes. And we have done some baseline surveys. The revelations are rather unfortunate, but it's something we believe so much in. Even the education system is something that we have to make it very realistic, very equitable to people. We have to come to that extent that we share information in the languages they best understand. You can speak English from today till tomorrow. If you don't speak in the language someone best understand, you are not communicating. So we need to improve on our communication approach as well. These young people, it's a fight we can win. It's a possibility, but we have to go far beyond what we are doing now. And what we see as substance abuse is just a tip of the iceberg. We have families that have been ravaged. Hospital facilities have been constantly eroded. Our educational system keeps going down. It's a vicious cycle. So we need to correct it. And it's an immediate thing. We need to give it all the attention that it deserves. So much limitations. As a matter of fact, it started in the day I showed the world my interest that I wanted to become chairman of the youth council. The routine is the youth council is either a money spinner or this is a place where people dance to the tune of the highest bidder. And so the powers that were saw it impossible to have an independent mind being the chairman of the youth council. So it started even before the elections. And most people in the government were not favorably displaced to my candidature. And they fought tooth and nail. They did everything within their powers, but the youths on the plateau had identified one leader they trust and they believe that he has the capacity to bring the change that they wish to be part of. So when I was elected, some of these powers made it impossible for me to succeed. For instance, the resources that were supposed to be released to my office as part of the partnership we have in government was a problem. And for close to 2-3 months, I wasn't doing anything. But I picked that up as a challenge, and we started thinking out of the box. We expanded the frontiers. We started bringing in people who have nothing to do with government, but they have the capacity to bring about the change. And of course, I stick to my manifesto because I had a 5-point agenda as the chairman of the youth council. And first I tagged my campaign, The Age of Reason. And I said, it's the question of the mind. So we said we were going to create avenues where we will teach young people how to think all over again. And young people have become willing tools in the hands of desperate citizens and political racketeers and even terrorists. So how do we win back our freedom? We've always told young people that freedom is not free, but if we come together and we sacrifice the bit of our pride, the bit of what we have seen as what that has sustained our livelihood so that we can win total freedom for ourselves, it's a possibility. So we started from there, and then we brought in some international organizations like WHO, UNICEF, UNDP, UNFPA, and some of the public-spirited individuals in the state. And we started moving, and we were executing the manifesto one after another. And then the state government picked interest in what we were doing. And the state government started bringing in massive support through the Plateau State Microfinance Development Agency, which is Plasmida. We have set before us the target of training 10,000 youths in different areas of skill acquisition within the span of 3 years. But in 2 years, we were able to train up to 14,000, courtesy the support from Plateau State government and the Plateau State Microfinance Development Agency under the leadership of Hega Igutap. So to a large extent, we were able to correct the gap in entrepreneurship. We were able to encourage self-employment. We're able to make policies that have improved the educational system on the plateau, and then we have had the youths also engage. Most of our achievements are found on our website. That's www.plateaustateyouthcouncil.com or .org. And we were able to also create a very viable youth data bank. We believe that for you to make some interventions in the youth constituency, you have to have at the tip of your fingers the total number of youth in your constituency. Those who are employable, those who are not, you need to know their educational status, you need to have sex balance, you need to know even those who are employed and those who are not employed. To that extent, whatever intervention you are bringing, it's possible to correct the gaps that we have. Challenges are so much enormous, particularly with the young people. Some don't even believe in your policy. Some whose initiative have been stolen, they see you as also a threat to the routine that they do, particularly corporate begging, thuggery, and all those things. But we were able to reduce to the barest minimum some of this by appealing. Some we have to even go down and beg them practically to see that there's a vision here, and then they should join us in the mission of the liberation of the young people. In fact, the challenges are as daunting as what you can think, but there was a will, there's still a will, and we saw that it is possible to bring this change that we wish to be part of. At some point in time, we were discouraged. We've seen reasons to even abandon the struggle. But through the mercies and the grace of God, we remain focused, and we are where we are today. The focus is on young people, but that is not to say we do not bring in people who are also young at heart. You see, the challenge we've had as a nation is we have a lot of young people who have not learned the act of sacrifice. Our tolerance threshold is on a new low, and then we want to be on the fast lane to make money, but we do not want to be a solution to the problems that we have. And being solutions to the myriads of issues around our constituency in itself is a wealth you cannot quantify. So I've always told young people, most of the great people you see around the world also came from very humble background as some of us. Some of them were born in farmhouses. Some of them were born in mansions alike. So what is up to you is that power of resolute determination, and telling yourself that you do not intend to be conquered by the problems you have inherited or those that the country has created for you. So as young people, can we take a leap of faith, a step in the right direction, which is what more than the million feasibility studies we sit down and we just think and we imagine that change is going to come. It is absolutely impossible. So we must take a leap of faith. We must do the little things that are found in our hands judiciously, and we must be faithful in the little that we do. Doing our best with the hope that the light is going to come. And I've also taken my time to tell young people that you don't despise those days of little beginnings. All you need to do is to just go back to history, and you'll be sure that you're on the right track. No one was born to be a limitation to himself or his society. It's the power of focus and the will to succeed that makes a world of difference. Above all, if you believe in a God, you need to trust him. Believe also in yourself. It is possible to attain those things that you want to. I've always told young people, it's amazing that they do not see the opportunities around them, but a lot millions have done far better things with the little in their environment. I told young people, there's this flower that grows on the prairie of South America. They said that no matter the winds and the countercurrents, that its leaves will always point northwards, which goes to show that life itself has challenges. What kind of life that has a story to tell without those challenges? So being a man or being successful in life is being able to conquer this problem and to tell them in effects that you do not intend to be conquered by them. Our population is a massive advantage to us. There's nothing that is free. Whatever you enjoy today, someone has paid the price for it. So can we be the people that are willing to go the extra mile for this country, for our families, for the society? Yes, we can. It's a possibility. We can change. Youths, young people will need to pick interest in issues of governance. That is key. The older generation will not want to relinquish power because of a certain complex they are suffering. If you want to bring about a change, for instance, as a clinician, and a family physician. If you want to know anything concerning family medicine, you ask me. But if you want to know anything about young people, they don't come to you ask young people, because the young people are not found in the place of governance and leadership. So we must pick interest. Freedom is not free. It is fought for. So any young man who have the opportunity, they can come to the youth center. We have a plethora of opportunities for young people, training, leadership, mentorship, and the likes. Ours is to build the template for the young people to succeed. So my message for young people is that do not look at impossibilities around you. That you are alive and you are healthy is the minimum that is required to heap from this valley of despair. Hope for yourself, your family, and the nation.